The upcoming Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy products continue to push card prices this week, but that's not all that's going on in the secondary market. This video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now, you can order Tarkir Dragonstorm, pre-order Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy, or find a vast number of other great items on their website. Remember, shipping is free in the US if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles. Just look in the description or comment section below for direct links to their site. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. As I said in the cold open, Final Fantasy has been completely revealed and the new products are again the biggest factor driving card prices this week. But that's not all that's going on in the secondary market. This week we're going to be looking at the 10 coldest cards, which are cards moving down in value but not necessarily seeing less play. Then we'll see the 10 hottest cards. As always, our lists are based on two pieces of criteria: the percentage change in the value of the cards as well as the change in the number of sales from week to week. We'll quickly look at the cold cards and then spend a little more time on the cards moving up in price. Before we get started though, just a couple of things. I do want to say thank you to one of our viewers who gave a super thanks tip last week, and that is Todd Branch. Todd, thank you for all your support for the channel. Todd's also one of our patrons. I always appreciate the generosity and the support. Thank you again, Todd. And I also want to say thank you to another one of our patrons. That is Mark Vonbank. Thank you again, Mark, for everything. I always enjoy reading your comments. And again, I just could not do this without viewers like yourself. So thank you so much. And now, without any further ado, let's get into it. We'll begin with the top 10 coldest cards of the week. Several cards that were spiking aggressively in previous weeks are here as they retracted in an attempt to find their proper price point. You're also going to see a couple solid Tarkir Dragonstorm cards on the cold list, but that's not too surprising considering how many packs from the product have been opened over the last several weeks. Alright, let's get started with number 10. Helm of the Gas Lord, down $1 to $6.89, that's a 13% decrease. This spiked recently because it will play well with the Y'shtola Knights Blessed from the upcoming Final Fantasy Scions and Spellcraft Commander deck. Sure, this is a Shadowmoor card that is yet to be reprinted, but it's not a rare, it's actually common. Too many players and stores had lots of these in their inventory, so as soon as the card spiked, a bunch of copies hit the marketplace. Number 9 is Pest Control, down $1.27 to $8.10, that's a 14% decrease. Coming in at number 8 is Caesar Legion's Emperor, down $1.66 to $10.54, that's a 14% decrease. This is the foil copy from the Fallout Hail Caesar Commander deck. It was hot recently because it played well with cards from the Tarkir Dragonstorm Mardu Surge Commander deck. 2 weeks ago, this was number 12 on the hot list. A week ago, it came in at number 6. Last week, it joined the cold list at number 3. This week, it drops 4 spots to number 7. It is Dogmeat Ever Loyal, down $1.74 to $3.96. That's a 31% decrease, and this is the foil copy from the Fallout Scrappy Survivors Commander deck. You might remember that the card jumped recently because of Cloud X Soldier in the Final Fantasy Limit Break Commander deck. Again though, the spike led to more copies appearing in the marketplace, which satisfied some of the demand. Number 6 is Corey Steel Cutter, down $1.90 to $12, that's a 14% decrease. This is the biggest card to come out of Tarkir Dragonstorm. We talked about it countless times over the past several weeks since it was impacting multiple formats, still is. Even so, Tarkir Dragonstorm is a popular product and lots of copies of Corey Steel Cutter have been put into circulation as countless packs have been cracked. Number 5, Shield Sphere, down $3.47 to $14.13, that's a 20% decrease. The Tarkir Dragonstorm Abzan Armor Commander deck pushed this one-print wonder recently, now it's on the decline. Number 4 is Two-Headed Hellkite, down $3.85 to $13.50, that's a 22% decrease. This is from the Dominaria United Painbow Commander deck. It was hot recently due to the dragon support that came from Tarkir Dragonstorm. Last week, this was number 5 on the hot list. This week, it checks in at number 3 on the cold list, Sigil of Sleep, the Urza's Destiny copy, down $1.25 to $6.04, that's a 17% decrease. The one from Dual Decks Venser vs. Koff is down $4.24 to $10.75. That's a 28% decrease. Last week, this spiked aggressively because of Final Fantasy previews. It will be good with Y'shtola Knights Blessed from the Scions and Spellcraft Commander deck, and with VV Orniteer from the main set. Number 2 is another solid Tarkir Dragonstorm card. It is Ugin Eye of the Storms, down $4.80 to $35.01. That's a 12% decrease. And coming in at number 1 is Earthcraft, down 2067 to 156.65. That's also a 12% decrease. Copies of this were disappearing off the marketplace in April, leading to some price increases. Now those copies are being sold back and the price is down. Alright, on to the main event. These are the cards moving up in price, starting with number 10. Arwen Mortal Queen, up 205 to 511. That's a 67% increase. This has been seeing a little commander play in a few builds, like Perry the Pulverizer and Aragorn the Uniter, for example. Now, though, Arwen is being pushed by some upcoming Final Fantasy cards. There are players that want this to upgrade the new Counter Blitz commander deck, while others are planning on adding Arwen to fresh builds around a couple cards from there. The front-facing commander, Tidus Yuna's Guardian, and to a lesser degree around Aerith Last Ancient from there. Arwen Mortal Queen will be especially good with Tidus, since Tidus can move and or proliferate the indestructible counter on Arwen. Number 9 is Danny Pink, up 205 to 724. That's a 40% increase. This is from the Doctor Who Paradox Power Commander deck. It has seen a little commander play in a few decks, like the one around the partner commanders, the 13th Doctor, and Yasmin Khan from its pre-con, as well as the Wise Mothman, for example. You guessed it though, Final Fantasy previews have pushed the price of this card too. Many players are getting Danny Pink to upgrade the Counter Blitz commander deck, while others want it for fresh builds around a couple cards from there, Tidus Yuna's Guardian, and Yuna Grand Summoner. Number 8, Rampant Rejuvenator, up 213 to 512. That's a 71% increase. This is from the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty Upgrades Unleashed commander deck. You see it in a few different commander builds, like ones around Henzi Toolbox Tori, or around Shishiro the Shattered Blade from its pre-con, for example. Now, you look at this card and you think that it would be a good upgrade to the Final Fantasy Counter Blitz deck, or it may be a good card to include in new builds around cards like Tidus Yuna's Guardian or Yuna Grand Summoner from there. And you would be right. However, Rampant Rejuvenator is being reprinted in Counter Blitz. The current copy is increasing in price though, and I imagine it's because many haven't read the Counter Blitz deck list. Spoiler alert, the price of Rampant Rejuvenator is going to be going down soon. Number 7 is Generous Pup. It goes up 225 to 1124. That's a 25% increase. Much like the previous cards, this sees a little commander play, not a ton, but some. It's occasionally found in Miss Bumbleflower and Sophia Dogged Detective, for example. However, I think you know where it's going. This too may be a decent upgrade to the Final Fantasy Counter Blitz deck, or it might find its way into fresh builds around Tidus Yuna's Guardian or Yuna Grand Summoner from there. Honestly though, I'm not seeing Generous Pup in a lot of deck lists either as an upgrade or around either of these cards. The price increase may be based more on speculation than actual gameplay. Keep an eye on Generous Pup's price in the coming weeks. Coming in at number 6 is Slaughter, up 255 to 379. That's a 205% increase. This one-print wonder occasionally sees a tad bit of commander play, but that's not why people are interested in it now. Some wanted to upgrade the Final Fantasy Scions and Spellcraft commander deck, while others are planning on adding it to fresh builds around Y'shtola and Knights Blessed from there. Paying the 4 life to buy back Slaughter with the Y'shtola in play will damage each opponent for 2, while gaining you 2 life back from the 4 you paid. Then you'll get to draw a card at the next end step. Not to mention, Slaughter destroys a target non-black creature at instant speed and it can't be regenerated. Seems like a lot of value in that repeatable play, and since Slaughter is tough to find at high grade, the price is moving up. Quickly, before we get to the top 5, just a fast reminder, this video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now, you can order Tarkir Dragonstorm products there, you can pre-order Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy products, or you can find any other number of great items on their website, Magic related or otherwise. Remember, if your order is over $100 or consistently singles, shipping will be free in the United States. And if you're looking for a direct link to their site, just check out the description or the comments section below. I do have links posted in both of those places. And now, without any further ado, let's look at the top 5. Number 5, Trouble in Pairs, up 304 to 2847. That's a 12% increase. This is from the Murders at Karlov Manor Blame Game Commander deck. It's a great card in the Commander format, found in several decks like Kalia the Vast and Arietta the Charmed Apple, for example. However, Trouble in Pairs recently came off the Commander Game Changer list, and it seems like this and another card that came off that list are being targeted. More on that in a moment. Also, Trouble in Pairs was mentioned on a Nitpicking Nerds video this week about commander cards you should buy right now, which might draw some attention to it. Plus, I have been seeing it appear in deck lists around a card from the Final Fantasy main set, Lightning Army of One. Put it all together and Trouble in Pairs is hot this week. Coming in at number 4 is Trinisphere, the double Masters copy of 318 to 2749. That is a 13% increase. The Darksteel copy of 384 to 3356, also a 13% increase. This sees play in multiple formats. In Modern, it's in the sideboard of several builds that are trying to run more expensive spells, like the popular Eldrazi Ramp deck, as well as Eldrazi Tron, regular Eldrazi Tron, and sometimes Through the Breach. This is true in a few Legacy decks too, where this appears in the sideboard of 4-color Initiative, Colorless Cloudpost, and sometimes Red Stompy. In Vintage, Trinisphere is restricted, but it is played in the main of several decks there, including Sphere Shops, Mono White Initiative, Jewel Shops, and Red Prison. But wait, there's more. In 1v1 Dual Commander, this appears in Azusa Lost But Seeking, and in regular Commander, you see this in a bunch of builds like Turgid God of Wright and Kinnan Bonder Prodigy, for example. However, this is the other card that was recently taken off the Game Changer list, and since we are seeing activity around Trouble in Pairs this week too, I do think that Trinisphere may be getting targeted. The other key driver here though is that modern Eldrazi Ramp deck, but regardless, it's easy to see that Trinisphere is heating up. Number 3 is Chronotog, up 451 to 715. That's a 171% increase. The Tog commander decks run this when you see them, and there is a Chronotog Stasis deck in Pre-Modern, but it's not currently getting a ton of play. I'm not seeing this showing up in commander deck lists with any of the new Final Fantasy legendary creatures or anything like that. This actually looks like a good old-fashioned reserve list buyout. Final Fantasy is bringing new players to Magic and enticing some lapsed players to return. With this new energy in the marketplace, reserve list buyouts seem to be happening again. Number 2 is Cursed Scroll, up $5.42 to $30.99. That's a 21% increase. This reserve list card is seeing a good amount of play in the Pre-Modern format. You see it in decks like Burn, Pit Rack, White Weenie, and more. Also, there are a few people looking to pick up Cursed Scroll to upgrade the upcoming Final Fantasy Scions and Spellcraft commander deck, and some are putting in a new deck list around Y'shtola Knights Blessed from there. The two cards do have some synergy together, and in the fact that Cursed Scroll is a reserve list card, and the spike kind of makes sense. And finally, coming in at number 1 is Artificer's Intuition, up $10.90 to $14.99. That's a 267% increase if you're doing the math at home. This one-print wonder only sees a tab at a commander play now, but Final Fantasy may change that. Some players want to put this in commander builds around a card from the main set, Noctis Prince of Lucis. The synergy between the two cards is apparent, but honestly, I'm not seeing Artificer's Intuition in a lot of Noctis deck lists yet. The spike might be based more on speculation than player demand, so we'll have to see what happens in the coming weeks. Now before I go, I do want to mention Allosaurus Rider one more time. I did not include it in the top 10 since prices for the various printings are very inconsistent. Some aren't moving much, some are spiking unrealistically. Overall though, what you need to know is the card is moving up in price. So why is it hot now? Well, it is a big part of the re-emerging modern Neo brand deck. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. I can't wait to see what happens when Final Fantasy truly releases in the coming weeks. I'm expecting a lot more market turbulence, but time will tell. Until next time though, hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.